Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and we have 6 incredible new knife designs from KIZER. Starting it off, we have the new Tomget, the KIZER Torngat. It is a dual ground, somewhat of a Persian tanto. It has a hollow grind and then a flat grind up here in the nose. Titanium frame lock. I like the way they did the clip with the titanium with a blue anodized titanium insert, backspacer to match, great access to the lock bar, nice pivot collar, and this thing is ridiculously smooth. Detent I would call a little bit on the lighter side, but not in a bad way. It's a little tiny bit on the lighter side, but that's all adjustable. You can easily adjust the lock bar tension, but it's good. And I think a lot of people would actually probably prefer it at this strength because it's not too strong, not too light, but is on the lighter side. Very ergonomic. It might not look like it just looking at the handle, but when you get your hands around it, that's pretty darn comfortable. So it's going to be a pretty cool little design, man. S35 VN blade steel. Lots of milling on the inside of the titanium scales. And the jimping on the spine is pretty good jimping. My one complaint so far, just first impressions, is the sharpening tool and plunge grind. Come on, guys, get that plunge grind back. Why does it got to hit the edge? That means it's going to make a smile. I don't like that, but it does come with all the hardware and stuff inside the box. Next, we have the new KIZER, button lock, Clairvoyant. And it is also an S35 VN, sheep's foot blade, titanium scales, a shred carbon fiber faux bolster. And it has a real bolster, but I call it a faux bolster because it's not a bolster lock. It's a button lock. So, but it has thumb stud action, which works great. Great tension for the detent, or what acts as the detent. Nice smooth drop. You can tell it is on bearings. And there's a lot of blade hanging out, so you can easily reverse flick it. And I gotta say, this one also, wow, this is comfortable. It might not look like it would be, but man, does your hands just wrap around it like a glove. I feel the clip a little bit. The clip looks a little bulgy right here, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah, man, this thing's pretty cool. Very slim, at least handle-wise. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Stonewashed blade. Semi-crowned spine. It's almost fully crowned, but lots of jimping, so you can definitely get some traction. And I do not know this knife designer, but there he is, the Munko Knives. So very cool. And yeah, off of my first impressions, I really don't have any negatives. The plunge grind looks good. Lockup is pretty good. I feel a little tiny bit of up and down, but sometimes button locks do need a little bit of break-in time, so I'm not really worried about that. But very, very cool. Let's check out the next one. Now, the next one, you guys might have seen something like this before. We have a Titanium XL Sheepdog now with a removable flipper tab. This thing is an absolute beast. It didn't even fit in the pouch they sent. It literally, like the whole pouch, like it was like squeezed in and stretching out of the pouch. This thing is massive. Just to give you an idea of how big this thing is. I know you guys don't know this knife yet, but look at the size difference. And this is a full-size knife right here. So it is a large knife, very large knife. This is the XL Sheepdog, the KIZER XL Sheepdog. Now, like I said, you have the removable flipper tab, which you can remove it without taking apart the knife. You can just unlock it and unscrew it right there. It'll pop right off. And then it'll give you a little bit better ergonomics because you can choke up right there. But it's a cleaver blade shape. You almost feel like you want to chop with it. Good access to the lock bar, very smooth on the drop. And I gotta say, this thing is super duper slim, way slimmer than I would have imagined the XL being. I've held the XL G10 version, and I don't remember it being this thin or this slim. It does have the weight relieving right there, but yeah, very, very cool. This thing is an absolute beast. And I gotta say, if you've never cut with a sheepdog, these things cut like crazy, especially like these XL ones. There's just so much blade and so much like the ergonomics are so good. You have so much leverage. Like it, man, it slices like a beast. These things are cardboard destroyers. Next, the new titanium KIZER Drop Bear. Check it out in LC 200N steel.
I love it.
Okay.
I do love it.
It's titanium with some anodizing. Kara loves it.
I do.
And the LC200N, if you guys don't know, LC200N is a very, very stainless steel. It's almost corrosion proof. You're most likely never going to have to worry about corrosion. And they did it in a nice stone wash, so that's even going to be even better. And it has a beautiful spear pointish blade. I would call it more of a Spanish spear point, but you can see this beautiful swedge right here. Beautiful sharp intro and plunge grind. They get it down nice and thin behind the edge. It's very thin. I think my other one was 10 thousandths. Then you have the steel liners, a titanium milled pocket clip. And the way they did this clip, it's a titanium milled pocket clip that's also deep carry. Isn't that cool? A milled deep carry titanium pocket clip. So it's also a spring clip and it's reversible. Then you have the clutch lock. Now, if you don't know about the clutch lock, it comes with extra omega springs where you can adjust the tension and strength and you can make it stronger by switching the springs. Also, it has different adjustments on the inside that you can adjust it to make the tension stronger or lighter for whatever omega springs you put in it. And it's very easy. You just take the scale off and you can get right to it. You can take this side off, so you don't have to take apart the whole knife to do the swapping or to change the tension. But anyways, I absolutely love the Drop Bear. It's one of my favorite knives of the year. Just the style, the shape, the way the locking mechanism is. I love it all the way around. Next, we have a little neck knife. And I'm going to call it the pizza cutter. It's called the Rocker. I'm guessing because you rock back and forth. But it's very unique. It's basically just an all belly. You got a 2-knuckle grip right there. And, you know, you basically pinch grip. And you're just going to use this whole thing, you know, like a pizza cutter. But, yeah, they call it the Rocker. It's pretty cool. You're not going to be able to use this tip very effectively unless if you turn it around and go backwards, which I guess you could do. You can see they clipped off that corner right there, probably so it doesn't poke you in the hand. You have the jimping, your thumb. It's the same size as my entire thumb. My entire thumb is actually a little bit bigger than the whole sweep of the blade. But it's a very small little neck knife, and it comes with a very nice sheath. The sheath hangs on really good. Good quality micarta, D2 steel, and it is full tang. So, yeah, very cool. Let's check out the next one. This one has a hole in it, so it's more of a knuck knife, if that's what you'd call it. But you have this little micarta handle that you can pinch onto, or you can go like this. You know, you can put your finger in it and use the traction of the micarta in this finger, and then use the traction of the jimping in this finger. I don't know, maybe for a punch dagger. You're not going to get a ton of leverage, so I don't know if I'd recommend it for a self-defense knife at all. Am I doing this right? But the sheath allows you to use the finger hole. So you can just slip your finger in there if it's hanging off your neck and yank down. And you got it right there in the grip. And maybe it would work okay, I guess, you know. It is D2 steel, and this one is called the Variable Warncliffe, and this is a Dirk Pinkerton design. So very cool. I love Dirk's designs. He does awesome designs. And, you know, I like the quality of the micarta. D2 steel, not a bad steel for this type of application. And, you know, it's going to, you know, be basically, you can open things up with it. You can yank it off your neck, open whatever you need to open up, or cut whatever you need to cut. And I suppose if you really needed to, you could definitely maybe use it in a pinch as a self-defense knife, possibly. I think you should test it out and try it, because one thing I'm worried about is it turning in my hand a little bit, you know. You know, you hit something hard and, you know, it's not a lot of handle here. So, you know, even though this does, you know, you can kind of get a good grip into your palm and kind of palm it like this. I guess if you did it like that, that actually might work pretty good right there in the middle, because you can kind of squeeze right into your palm. That actually feels pretty secure, actually. But, you know, it just depends. But anyways, there you guys go. Just a quick look at the 6 new really cool knife designs from KIZER. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.